Hi, my name is Tanya, and I'm in 11th grade and I go to Skyline High School. So, during February, we took a trip to India, and while we went to India, I carried a bunch of books from Madhu Aunty to donate to a local school there. So, Aunty had gotten in contact with, I think, it's a government school in India, so it's like very like badly funded, not many chairs, not many like students there, probably like, say like 60 students there, and we had about like I think 100 books in total. And with the books, we also donated like a bunch of supplies like craft works and markers and pencils and stuff. So after we finished all the stuff that we needed to do in India, me and my cousins, including my brother, we all went to the school there, and we decided to donate all the books. So my parents actually said that they want me to go by myself, so we took an Uber there, and we was like coordinating with all like the people, and Auntie gave me the person in Hyderabad, or the coordinator in Hyderabad who she was contacting with, who was in touch with the school and talking about where and how I should donate the books there. So we took an Uber. It was like an hour and a half ride there. It was a lot of traffic and stuff. So after we got there, it's a very secluded kind of place. I guess like the longer time we took to get there, it's less it was from the city. You know, it was very like rural, and like as more we were getting towards it, there were less cars. You would see more people walking on the streets and stuff because not many people could afford cars and stuff. So it was very, that kind of place. So as soon as we got there, we met the coordinator, Harshini Aunty, and she took us to after she like introduced herself and what we're gonna do, and then she took us into a little like a van, and we went to the van and we went like tried to find the school. So when we got there, we were actually trying to look and told Auntie that we meet her at the school directly, but she said that if you ask anyone around there, you won't find it because it's not very like a well-known school. So like we tried asking like the local like street vendor or something, have you heard of this school? Have you heard of this school? But nobody could hear about it because there was just like nobody really knew about it. So we waited for Auntie, and then Auntie took us into the van, and then from the van we went into like this like small little lane, and then from the lane she said that the car won't fit in there anymore, so you have to like walk from there. So we took all our supplies and we walked, and then I took my camera and all the books and stuff, and so we took turns like going into a little street lane, and then behind this like huge dumpster and like across like a small little like waste bridge thing, there's a school, and the school is also like half school, half mosque. So when I was talking to Harshini Aunty about where I'm gonna donate, there was the Telugu medium and the Urdu medium, and I don't really know Telugu that well. I know Hindi, so I said I'd do the Urdu medium. So that's why it was like a lot of it was a very like heavily Muslim community area, but I was still able to talk with people because I know Hindi. So so it was like a school / mosque over there. So when we got there, we met with the with the principal, and we told her like what we want to do there, and then she told us, okay, like how do you want to distribute? And we're like, oh, we can probably just like divide it up, like equally split up the books and give it to the teachers, and we can ask the teachers to distribute them and however she wants. And she said that if we give it to the teachers, we're not really sure if it'll reach the students, because she said that the teachers itself might take it for their own kids and not give it to the students there. So that's where that was like very, very surprising to us, or not to my cousins because they probably guessed that would happen, but I was like, I don't understand, like I wasn't able to comprehend that like the teachers would do that. So anyway, so we're like, okay, and then we went into the classroom, and then so there were about like 4 classrooms there in general, so like 4 main classrooms. So there was like levels like 3 through 5, and there were like about 60 kids there, and then level like 1 to 2, and then 3 to 4, like they were just distributed like that. And so we first went into the level 3 to 5, and so when we got there, it was like a group of like 60 kids, like different age groups. Like few of them were like maybe like 10 or 12 years old. Other ones were like probably 8 or 9 years old, and all of them were just in one classroom. There were no benches or no chairs or anything, so just like this blanket on the ground, and the kids were just sitting there, with like their school uniforms and stuff, and like learning. And then when we got there, like the teacher was teaching them to count or something. And so when we got there, the teacher first introduced us, and she told us what we're gonna do, and That's where all the kids call me Tanya Teacher. that was very interesting. I thought they were just calling me Tanya Didi or like sister or something, but all the kids referred to me as Tanya Teacher, so that was kind of that was kind of funny. So yeah, when we got there, I first talked to all the kids about where I am from, like where America is, where Seattle is, and asked them anywhere they know where they are, where it is, around the world and stuff. And then I started to ask the kids, what do you want to be when you grow up, and just like talking with them until we came up with the plan of how we want to do it or distribute the books. So yeah, I talked to the kids for about like say 20 minutes, and yeah, like first they were like really quiet because they've never like seen anyone, but then after that they got kind of used to it, and they were really excited to have like new people come to their school since they're not really used to that kind of stuff. It was like pretty obvious they're not used to that kind of stuff. And after we got there, so after talking to the kids, we decided we wanted to distribute the books. So we got all the books, and we decided that we'll just go like one by, like we'll give each kid about 2 books and maybe like 1 or 2 pencils. And so yeah, we went, so me and my brother Real went and we distributed all the books to all the students, and we got that on video, and yeah, all the kids were like super excited. They had like, I think they were very, very excited about all the books that they got, and for the first like 10 minutes they're just looking at the book, like passing it around, like see, oh, I have this book, I have that book. And then after that, we started that, I thought that I would like call some random kids in front of the class, we would just read to the class like one of the books. And so yeah, after we distributed the books, I called, I think, about 4 students up. It was like to whoever wants to read, so I called one of them up, and he was like, the first student was about I'd say like 13 years old, and it was like a very like elementary book, like this is a cat, the cat wears a hat, and when I was asking him to read it, he couldn't read it. Like he's 13 years old and he couldn't read the word cat, he couldn't read the word hat, and he couldn't say it in a sentence. And even if he was like barely able to say it, he didn't know what that meant without the pictures. So that was also like the second like most striking thing, that like kids over here probably in like 1st or 2nd grade, they're able to like at least to an extent able to comprehend that kind of stuff, if not just read it. But he couldn't read or comprehend, and he's older than my brother almost, so that was that. And so I read the book to the kids, and then I translated it into Hindi/Urdu so everyone can understand. And then at the very end, like I just asked them questions about the book. So I asked them about I did that to about 4 students, and at the very end, right before I was leaving, I thought we would just play a game. So the game was I'd write random letters. So I saw like they weren't able like to come up with words and that kind of stuff, and just kind of thought I would just have some fun with that. So I just came up with I put random letters on the board and had like random spaces, and see how many like words they can come up with the random letters I put. So I divided the class into teams, and that's when the kids like started to have really a lot of fun, and they were like competitive and stuff, So yeah, we gave them about like 5 minutes, and they would all take turns and stuff doing that kind of stuff. And yeah, so I think over here there's a lot of like interaction as far as like teacher and children. Like a lot of teachers ask, do kids have this? So all you guys raise your hands, or if you want to come to the board and teach the class, you want to come to the board and tell the class. And I feel like those kind of kids don't really like know what that was. Like they don't have much interaction as far as like teacher and student. So when I asked them to come and like write stuff on the board, they were like super excited. Like they were like, oh my god, we get to go on the board and actually touch the board and write with the chalk and stuff. And that was yeah, very interesting. But when we got there, like the kids got like really excited. It was almost like hard to control, because there were about like 60 kids, and they're all like rushing towards the chalkboard, and there are like 3 chalks there, and and that's when like the teachers, there were about like 4 teachers there, and the teachers that's when they started getting really mad. With like the one teacher there, she would come with a stick and like slam it on the ground, like, no, sit down. And that's when I was like, oh my god, okay, just calm down, they're just kids. So yeah, that was a little scary, I think, almost for me. So but the kids seemed used to it. I mean, they didn't really see that. They didn't really think it was that big of a deal. I thought it was a much bigger deal than they did. So yeah, we played the game for a little while, and yeah, we had I would go around, and after the kids came up with the words, I'd say, okay, is this right? So I asked everyone to read it out loud to the class, is this word right? They say yes, and I do I check a little thing, and I add 1 point to their team. And as soon as I added that 1 point, the entire class started clapping and jumping and high-fiving, it's such a big deal, and So that was really fun. So we did that for a couple of rounds, but at the very end, one of the kids asked me if they can exchange a book, like instead, like can they, like I gave some guy, I think I gave a fairy